So we're officially live. This is episode 6 of Fuel Cap. Everyone tuning in. Today we have Neal Joswick. He runs a little detailing business called Gloss Boss Details. And pretty much I met Neal. We went to Brookdale in the automotive technology program together. And we met. And I don't know, Neal's a pretty cool guy, so we stayed in touch.
Yeah. Hey, David. What's up?
Not too
So,
much. Chilling in quarantine.
yeah, quarantine's pretty beat. I mean, it did affect my business a little bit, but we're a little bit back up and running with the proper personal protection and everything
Uh-huh.
to do some details and stuff like that. And I've been meaning to get in touch with you too. We've been keeping a little bit in contact throughout the quarantine. But yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I wanted to know though, because when quarantine first, like, when it hit heavy, like, how much did that affect you?
Well, it actually, like, it's really weird because it affected every business differently. And I saw it because, like, I know a few businesses, like, around here, like, especially a few in my backyard. So I was checking up on them, seeing what was going on. And a lot of them stayed open. A lot of them got the proper papers regarding, if their business could stay open, because most of them had a permanent place. Like me, I'm mobile, so I just put everything into my, my car,
Yeah.
and then just go driving. So, but these people who had permanent business, they stayed open. They had the proper protection, and then they got more into disinfection. Like the industry has been really going into disinfection. Like I got the steam cleaner, but a lot of companies, they're coming out with UV lights that you just run over the dash and stuff. Yeah, to the the stuff you saw on the news, the sprayers they use for the airplanes.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, how they decontaminate the place with just like misting some kind of chemical. Like they have that for detailing. That has been in the industry for a while now.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's like, I never even heard of that. I was like, wow, this is like some new stuff that like they must have like kind of like either just like made, or maybe it was already.
Yeah, it just started catching on because people were trying to find like options to do stuff, and they figured out a way. So
Right.
yeah, but I closed up just because they said non-essential, and I'm a service. I'm like basically equivalent to the person who comes to your house to clean your house.
Yeah.
So it wasn't essential. I didn't deem it essential, and plus a lot of my family is essential workers in the healthcare, so I didn't want to risk them either, or they risked me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But so you're kind of operating on a smaller scale right now?
Yeah, I'm doing like friends, mostly word of mouth. I've been trying to get into the marketing a little bit because recently that's just how businesses work. It's not all about word of mouth anymore.
Yeah.
But right now I'm just running, I've done a couple clients that are in my neighborhood, so they're my neighbors.
Oh, cool.
And I've actually got Ryan, the liaison for Brookdale Auto.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got him coming to my garage on Monday, and I'm going to do the wheels, ceramic coat. Yeah, because it's the guy who did it before, he had a ceramic coating. It was done properly, but it was only like a year or two that it lasts. Like the ceramic coatings that I offer are like 3 to 5 years.
Oh, cool.
So versus like 1 to 2 years. So that's good.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So have you been detailing your car lately?
So I actually I don't know if I told you I ever did this, but originally my garage was too, like, there was just too much junk in it to like pull my car in.
Relatable.
Well, okay, let me back up, because I think last time I talked to you, I like kind of just got the RX-8, and then I still had the Ford Explorer.
Yeah.
Okay, since then, the Ford Explorer blew up for the second time, so that's gone. And then I was dailying the RX-8 for a couple weeks, but then I got like a really good deal on this Mazda 3. It needed some work. It was a fixer-upper, but it was $700. So.
Oh, your audio cut out.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, for some reason your audio cut out.
Oh, okay. I'm good now. Is it? Can you hear me? Oh
I
no.
can't hear you.
This happened. This happened like two shows
Oh,
ago.
I can hear you now.
Okay, I think it's with Skype because the last show I did on Skype, the same thing
You
happened.
think? Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Hopefully it's
Let
not...
me just check my Wi-Fi,
Okay.
my connection.
All right.
Yeah, everyth's good on my end.
Okay. I mean, everything's
Continue.
good on my end. Yeah. So, yeah, I got the Mazda 3 for $700. Put the work into it, and then I cleared out like a whole space in my garage that I could actually pull the RX-8 in. So that's been living nice and pretty in the garage. But just the other day, I took it out and gave it a wash. I didn't really detail it. It was so I got a pressure washer finally. So I kind of just gave it the rinse down, and then I did what did I do? It's this it's called New Polish, NU, and it's like an orange can. So I kind of just did that.
Yeah, there's like a little laggy.
Did you catch what I said?
So you cleared out the space. Are you gonna do anything with that space? Put some cabinets in?
No, it's really just like enough space to park my car, and that's it. I can't even like work on
Yeah,
it.
I feel you. Because the garage I have right now, it's like there's a pole in the middle, a load bearing pole over here, and there's like here. So like there's that load bearing pole over there, and then there's that thing. So it's like tight always. Like I don't even know how it's gonna be with his Durango, Ryan's Durango. But I'm gonna try to fit it in here. I'll move everything to the side and try to squeeze it by that load bearing pole.
Yeah, that's difficult, especially with that pole in the middle.
Yeah, I only need it in here to correct and coat, which isn't a lot. It's just time consuming. But I got my rolly chair, and like it's not that bad. I've done a few corrections in here. Like I've done an M3 in here, a BRZ in here. I've corrected the Acura that's right here. So like, yeah, the Acura sits over here too.
Okay, nice. So when you do a full detail, kind of like what goes into that?
All right. Well, a lot goes into it because I have like a lot of OCD. So usually when I'm doing it, it takes me around, I don't know, a full detail takes me around 4 hours. With two people, I can do, 2.5 hours probably.
Okay.
But yeah, it takes me around 4 hours. I really get into the details. I first start with, the wheel bucket and stuff like this. So this wheel bucket with all the brushes in it.
Yeah.
I take that and I bring that everywhere around the bucket, and I use the IK foamer with my magic concoction of wheel stuff.
Okay, hold on.
I just go around the wheels.
That actually brings up a question I wanted to ask later, but we're kind of talking about it now. So, wheels first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Now, why is that? I always wondered. That's like everyone does wheels first, so I kind of just go along with it. But like, I always wondered why. It's
mostly because like you don't want to get like that overspray on a perfectly cleaned car. Like say you're spraying some kind of wheel cleaner. Usually it's a strong wheel cleaner, and it will like break through wax and stuff.
Okay.
So you don't want to freshly clean and wax your car and then get a little overspray and then have to like rub that into the paint.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Or you would rinse it off and wet your car that you just dried,
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're in the sun, that's rough because then you're rushing to rinse it off because you don't want the chemical to bake on there.
Yes, washing the sun is the worst.
Spotting. Yeah, you definitely don't want to get like any kind of wheel cleaner on your paint because it will spot up.
Okay. That
mean, like,
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of wheel cleaners out there that are non-acidic too, and like a lot of wheel cleaners that have rust inhibitors. So you ever like clean your wheels and you see that like your brakes are rusted and your discs are rusted, they have like a coating on them of rust.
Yeah.
Because they just get wet and they oxidize.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the wheel cleaner I use has rust inhibitors, so that doesn't even happen.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I don't have to worry about, the client seeing the rusty brake disc,
When they come to pick the car
on
up.
a freshly detailed. Yeah. Well, usually I'm like just doing it in their driveway. So like they get to see it. And usually my clients are coming out maybe 4 or 5 times to check up on me.
Okay, I
just
got you.
Because, so yeah, they see the whole process. It's not like I'm hiding anything,
Yeah.
So that's why I like to do that. I like to be really open with the client, because the more open you are, the easier it is for them, and vice versa.
Yeah, no, that builds that trust that will bring the client back to you every time.
Yeah. And it's a lot about, making impressions, like good impressions. And that's how we do it in like the service industry. You got to make an impression. You got to make them know that you're there.
Right. So after you clean the wheels, what's next?
What's next? After I clean the wheels, I start with, rinsing down the car probably.
Mm-hmm.
Either I'll just rinse it down with water and be careful, rinse top to bottom.
Right.
Just because, you don't want to rinse down to up, because then you're just bringing dirt up the car instead of down the car.
That makes sense.
You want gravity to work with you, especially if you're working with the hose too,
mm-hmm.
because you don't got a lot of water pressure behind that for people at home. Even like I have a pressure washer, but it's nothing serious. It's because like if you show up with a gas pressure washer and you put like that really tight nozzle on, you'll break right through the paint.
I know that. Well, that's
There's
what
no
worried
doubt
me
about it.
When I first got mine. I was doing some test sprays over on my driveway just to know, like, am I spraying too like narrow of a spray?
Yeah, usually you want the white nozzle.
Okay.
So this one.
Okay. See, I don't have
this one's the 40. Yeah, this one's the 40 degree. So you want the 40 degree. You don't want like the 20 degree or any of that.
Mm. So then,
but
you pretty much just stick with that for the entire car.
Yeah, I stick with the 40 degree, and anything like that requires like maybe the 20 degree is like if I'm trying to get in the wheel wells.
Gotcha.
Okay. Some of the wheel wells these days like aren't even painted.
Yeah.
So like if it's the bare aluminum in there, like what are you gonna do to the bare aluminum? There's no paint to take off.
Mm-hmm.
So that I do to get some extra cleaning power behind the wheel barrels. And I do also like I clean the wheel barrels, and that's not necessarily a thing that every detailer does.
Yeah.
They might just spray some cleaner and rinse off the wheel and brush it a little bit.
Okay.
But I give it like some elbow grease, if you know what I mean. So and some of these wheel barrels, like back to the wheel question, how are your wheels oxidized like permanently?
Unfortunately,
like they just don't get.
Yeah. On the Mazda 3 especially, there's just the one wheel is just so bad. Like I scrub and it's just like there's no coming back.
There is a way you can make it better by like taking some like really strong cleaner like Super Clean and getting like a drill brush. So like I have these drill brush attachments. This one's really good. So this one goes on top of the drill.
Okay.
So it has a drill bit.
Yeah.
And you attach it to the drill, and you can just get in those areas between the spokes.
Mm.
And this is just going to rotate, so you have no problem getting maybe the rust off, because you're just going to scrub away the rust. That's it, So I use that especially on really bad wheels, like Jeep wheels. Jeep wheels and tires get really bad, and sometimes I just hit it with the drill brush, so I don't spend all that time scrubbing away at the tire or whatever.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, and a lot of people, they don't clean their tires.
I always
see a lot of people.
I always do
Good.
because it just like I feel like yeah, it's definitely overthought, but it's kind of important because then that's what like it doesn't necessarily like it won't extend your tread wear, but it'll kind of rejuvenate the rubber.
Yeah, well, if you're just caking on silicone dressing after silicone tire dressing, like you're just caking it on every single time you wash the car, but you're not washing the wheel, it's eventually going to eat at the ozone of the tire.
Mm-hmm.
Like that coating that they put on the tires, it's not permanent, and then your tires will be brown forever.
Yeah.
So either you clean the tire and dress it properly, or you're gonna have a brown tire all the time.
Yeah, no, there's
So
like that's the most telltale sign that the car wasn't like properly taken care of when you see a car with like brown tires.
hey, yeah, I did that to my own car. I put too much tire dressing when I was like a little nerd about detailing and I thought I was good. You know, I used to put so much tire dressing, even tire dressing from a can, which is like the worst because that stuff like never comes off.
Yeah.
You know, I don't use
somewhere.
tire dressing from a can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, tire dressing. I see the thing about tire dressing from a can is it's really expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get it on your driveway or anything like that, like if you have pavers, like I have pavers, and one time I got overspray on my pavers and it never came out.
Oof.
So it'll permanently stain your pavers, plus it'll make your tire look super bright most of the time, which isn't something everybody likes.
Right.
Yeah, like I don't know. I don't like a greasy tire. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I put the shine on, I level it down with a towel.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
you go.
I was gonna say after you do the wheels and tires, you rinse it down from the top to bottom, and then you do the foam cannon.
The foam cannon. And yeah, sometimes the foam cannon's good. It's not mandatory. Like sometimes I just like using the foam cannon as a
I think you cut out.
basically using it as a pre-rinse gets all like the lightly attached contaminants off.
Okay.
And then I kind of rinse down the car again.
Right.
And then I do my two bucket wash.
Okay. And that's
And
one soap bucket and then one rinse off bucket.
yeah, I'll show you guys. So we got the 2 buckets here. I got like a cover on it.
Yeah, don't get anything in the bucket.
And yeah, I just got 2 buckets, nothing. But what's important is I have these. You ever heard of grit guards?
Yes, I need one because every time I dip my thing into the dirty bucket, I know like I'm getting all that
You
dirt
can
back
even
up in
see
it.
that there's dirt in this bucket because I did a previous detail and I didn't rinse it out.
Yeah.
But it catches the dirt, which is what matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 2 types. I got this type of grit guard too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, as long as it's letting the dirt go to the bottom.
Yeah, as long as you have that. But I do the 2 bucket wash method.
Okay.
And then what I do for guys that are, do you have problems washing your car with the water drying and the soap drying in the summer?
On sunny, hot days, yeah.
Yeah. So what I do, this is like a trade secret actually. So what I do is I do one part at a time. So I might do the front,
mm-hmm.
and then the side. And when I'm doing the side, that includes half of the roof.
Oh, okay.
So when I'm doing the side, that includes half of the roof. And then I do the back. And then I do the other side, which is half the roof.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that in portions because I'm basically spraying either foam or getting from my wash bucket water and wiping, washing that portion, rinsing it off. And if it's really hot, I might even dry it. You know what I mean?
Oh, and while you're washing it, you'll actually dry it before.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
And sometimes, if it's too much for like me, I might just like do it all, have the water dry on the car and clay the car really quickly.
Okay.
because say it's like impossible to wash it without it drying. Like
So
literally,
like
you spray water.
the Durango
Yeah,
would be a big car, so like you'd probably be spending more time on one side and then another side's drying while you're doing the rest of the car.
yeah. I mean, I don't even care because I have to clay that car regardless for coating it.
Okay.
You know, so I have to decontaminate it anyways. So it's just like one less thing I have to worry about. And like detailers in the industry, they use deionized water because they say, oh yeah, it's filtered water, deionized water. It just or distilled water. It can dry up and it doesn't leave any residue.
Yeah.
So guys, they run their mobile units with say a CR spotless filter, which is like the stuff they put in RVs, and they'll run a filter, and the water from their tank is going through that filter and out of the pressure washer.
Wow.
So they don't even have to worry. They can literally just like wash the car, rinse it down, start doing the interior.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it'll dry with no residue, no nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and like a lot of people overthink detailing because if you buy the right products and you know your system before you do it, then it's pretty easy. You know, it won't take you 3 hours, 2 hours, a whole day. Some people, like it used to take me a whole day to do a detail sometimes. That's how crazy I was.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, like when I was doing it not as a business, just for my own self, like I was cleaning my car and it would take me a whole day.
Yeah.
I'd be like, even one time it took me a weekend. I was doing a polish.
That's crazy.
It was like I started Friday night and I finished Sunday morning.
But like that's how you start. You kind of use your own car as a guinea pig. You realize what works and what doesn't, and then you kind of figure it out.
I've actually burned through the clear on my car in a really inconspicuous spot, but you know, at some point in my life I had to burn through clear coat, and it should be my car instead of a client's car.
Right. So it's like you said you have to do that kind of so you know like what like level it will burn through.
Yeah, like how much effort it takes to actually ruin paint with a buffer, you know?
Wow.
It takes a lot of effort, I'll tell you that. It takes a lot of effort. Yeah, it takes probably like 4 or 5 passes, 4 or 5 long buffer passes, like and hard, like you're pushing on it. Like they say when you're buffing, you're supposed to hold the buffer like you're feeling a pillow. You know when you're testing the cushiness of the pillow? I know it's really weird.
Yeah, that does sound really weird, but I do know what you're saying. Like when you want to know like is this going to be a good pillow for me, you kind of like push on it like gently.
Yeah, that's the pressure you want to use.
Really?
Enough to hold the pressure, enough to hold the buffer stable, but only like you're seeing that. So
okay, interesting. I've always wondered, just because I've never personally buffered any car, none of my vehicles or anything, and I've like kind of been intimidated by it because I'm like, well, like what compound do I use, or like what, like how much pressure do I do, like.
It's a deep dive. I'm gonna tell you that it's a deep dive, but at some point when you do it, you're like, oh, this isn't that bad. When you finally get your first result, you're like, all right, this is what it takes to get these results. It isn't that bad, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like the industry has really come up in technology, man. Like now they got ceramic coatings for boats. Like think about that. Wild. They're in the salt water all the time. They're exposed to marine life, all kinds of algae. Like, and these boats, they don't get a water line anymore. Like, you know that scum line you used to see on a boat?
Oh, yeah, where it sits, like the level of the water?
Where the water sits, yeah. You don't get that anymore with coating.
What?
Yeah.
That's actually,
it's
like,
really
incredible.
cool.
And how long does, like, a ceramic coat on a boat last?
1 to 2 seasons.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So basically, you know, when you take the boat out of the water for the season, you know, you just rinse it down with water and you're good. Maybe give it a little wash. That's it.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, oh shoot, I have to polish out this scum line now. You know?
Yeah.
Because boat guys, they're crazy. They're OCD like that. You know, they have expendable income. They want it to be
for real.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And like, especially if your boat's not sitting in the water, you don't want to be sitting in your driveway or whatever with a scum line on it.
Oh yeah, no, no. I've done a couple boats so far too.
Okay.
So they're nice. I actually got one coming up this next week. Got to go to LBI.
Ooh.
It's gonna be a long drive.
So, how does your mobile detailing setup work? You run it all out of your little TT?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm trying to buy a van. I'm trying really hard to buy a van, but
Okay.
I was gonna buy a van. It was red. It was a Transit Connect. It was like really cheap. It was like a little bit over $4,000. I was like, I have that money.
Yeah.
Let me just buy one. And it got sold, and I was like, God damn
Oh
it.
man.
So I'm gonna have to spend a little bit more money for a van, but it's gonna come. It
Yeah.
will come.
Good. There you go. That's their first step into the real thick of it.
Yeah, I mean, I have all the professional products
Right.
at this point. So like I can do a detail like you were actually taking a car to a detail shop and getting it done. The only thing is I guess you get to do it at the comfort of your own home, which
Right.
a lot of people like. That is one thing that I offer that a lot of people say, hey, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. But you said you have your professional products that you use. So, what kind of obviously, like any detailer I've spoken to, it
Oh, you
seems...
cut out.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you
Give
hear me
it a
now?
second, maybe.
Maybe. Okay, hold on. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's better.
Okay, great. So I was just asking. So pretty much like any like detailer I've spoken to, it seems like they have like their staple like products they like to use, but then they're always exploring other products. So what kind of
What?
what?
I'm sorry, man. I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. I was saying like other details I've spoken to, they have like their staple products, the ones that they always that's like their go-to, but then they're kind of always exploring other products, like kind of like on their own car or whatever to see like maybe what else to use in the future. So like how much of like product exploration and testing do you do? Did you catch that or no?
We're having technical difficulties.
Oh
I
no.
think so. I'm
Oh,
like
no.
it like cuts out completely.
Oh, can you hear
Man,
me
why?
now? Or no?
I can hear you
You
now.
can hear
Yeah,
me
that's
now.
better.
That's so strange. No, I was asking, other details I've talked to, they have their like go-to products, but then they're also exploring other products like pretty much all the time. So like,
I've been exploring since day one,
okay,
basically.
okay,
I'm not dedicated to any sort of like products. Like you don't see a banner in my garage. I'm not sponsored by anybody.
yeah,
Like people have gone and said, "Hey, can you have our products?" Like smaller companies. But like I'm just like, why should I limit myself to just what's going on in that part of the industry? I want all of the industry.
yeah. Do you think you
So
will ever get to a point though where you'll kind of stick to one brand?
yeah, like I'm starting to lean towards Gion or G Technique. Like I have a lot, like I love Gion. I use their wax like all the time.
Okay.
It got to the point where I bought a gallon of this sealant, which costs like $129.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. So like I actually I bought into it basically.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I love the products. I use the coatings. The only thing is I've been like steering away from Gion, and I've been going to G Technique because they have longer lasting coatings
Okay.
and stuff like that. But Gion's really good in the usually the wash process. Like I
Yeah.
use Gion Wash, which is right under me.
Okay.
Days Plus. So this is a shampoo,
So
but
that's
it's
actually kind
also
of
a wax.
smaller bottle than I thought.
Well, these are premium products, so you only
Right.
get 500 milliliters for like $20.
Oh.
You know,
Okay.
I like using this. Like they even have the chemical sheet on it, telling
Oh,
you
wow.
what's in it and everything. So this is a wax and sealant all in one. You literally wash the car with this. You dry the car. It's protected.
Okay. How well does that work compared to the full process?
Well, it has a 5-star rating on self-cleaning, and they say it lasts 2 months.
Okay.
So 2-month durability on this.
So that's kind of like something you would reapply every like few washes, depending on
Yeah.
how often
And
you
then
wash.
yeah, and then just for an example, this is like a G Technique thing,
Okay.
and this is so much better. This is 4 to 8 months.
Mm.
Yeah, 4 to 8 month durability. So this is a ceramic type deal. This
Okay.
is basically the topple that you put on top of ceramic ceramic coatings that are like they're setting,
Yeah.
just like paint. You spray this on them to protect them so the client can go out with his car right after it's coated.
Oh, okay. So
So this is
it's
just a
like
sacrificial layer.
okay.
But you can use that alone too because it has 4 to 8 months durability.
Mm.
And then you got
So I mean, me personally, like I'm not that deep into detailing, so like I kind of stick to like the Walmart aisle, like cleaning and detailing products. So is there a certain price point that the products all start to like have only very small incremental differences in like quality?
um I started as a chemical guys person.
Okay.
I when I first started, liking detailing and decided to buy some products for myself, like for like a little Christmas gift for myself because when it gets Christmas time, they're really trying to get rid of their stocks because it's cold.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that makes
basically
sense.
like
I didn't think of that.
yeah. So in the winter, it's great. They love it. They're like 25% off. I'm like, that's the most percent off you'll ever get. So I bought like $200 in chemical guy stuff. Got a
Yeah.
whole bunch of stuff. Some of it I haven't even used yet because I know it's not going to be as good as the stuff that I already bought. Like I
Yeah.
just know it.
Wow.
Because like some of the chemical guys stuff, it's like a joke. Like half of their stuff works and half of their stuff doesn't work.
Well, it's just all their branding. That's really what it comes down to. Like
Yeah, it
chemical
is all their
guys,
branding.
McGuire's, Mothers, like they all have like
Hey,
pretty good
McGuire's
branding.
McGuire's has been in this business for a while, and they have plenty of science behind their products.
Yeah.
So I will never hate on Mothers, Chemical Guys, McKee's, anything you can buy at like the AutoZone that has been
Yeah.
there for years. Like I stand by that. Like
Oh, no,
the
absolutely. Yeah.
McGuire's, yeah, the McGuire's compound and polish you find in the aisle in AutoZone.
Hmm.
Those two are great. I mean, like
Yeah.
anybody should buy them.
Okay.
I don't have them personally because I like other stuff, but
Right.
and plus they're expensive. The bottles are expensive.
Yeah.
What is it, like $39 for that big kind
Yeah.
of jug thing?
Something like that.
Because it's M102 and M101 or something. Like I don't know the codes exactly, but
Okay. Those are
product codes.
product codes. Okay.
Yeah, that's just the way they name them. But like I use a lot of different polishes.
Hmm.
There's nobody who's the best.
Yeah.
There simply just isn't. There's nobody who's the best. Like yes, you can see clearly the best company in coatings right now, which is G Technique,
Hmm.
but you can't see who has the best polish because they're just a little bit different. One can be easier to wipe off. One can be terrible to use in the heat.
Yeah. It's
There's
so
just little incremental differences.
yeah. It's funny though. Like on Instagram, like I get so many advertisements showing like they do the tape down like halfway down like the hood, and then like one side is like with the product and one side without, and like they all look like they do the same thing. It just kind of whichever brand you choose to go with. Wait, can you hear me?
You cut out for a second.
Uh,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
you're good. You're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was saying on Instagram, like I'll get ads and it'll have like the comparison like with the product and without, and out of all of the ones that I get, like they all just seem the same. So I feel like it kind of comes down to whatever one you like actually choose to just like try out and use.
Yeah, I mean, like I've had compounds that I've had good luck with, and I've had compounds that basically are full, like, and I've never used them.
Yeah.
Like That's just the price you have to pay for testing out products. But guess what? When you find a really good product, you stick with that, and that's just in your arsenal.
Yeah. Nope. That's true.
Like one product that basically changed my whole detailing system was Geon Wet Coat. Like Geon Wet Coat, that gallon that I bought.
Yeah.
It's literally, you rinse off the car after washing it, you spray on the wet coat everywhere.
Yeah.
Evenly, and then you rinse it off with the pressure washer.
Simple.
Coated.
Yeah.
It's a 2 to 3 month coating. You know, it's better than wax. And guess what? I include it in my basic wash. I'm giving my clients and customers basically a 2 to 3 month sealant right out the gate with a $50 detail.
Okay. That's really nice.
Yeah, I don't give clients wax.
Okay.
Maybe if they ask for it, I will. And I always have it with me. And I use wax for special applications. Like if a person has a really clean car and they really want it to pop, yes, I will put a paste wax or a spray wax on it. Mostly a paste wax because that's what, people like.
Yeah.
And, but for people who daily drive their car, that is the way to go. That is the sealant, It's got excellent beading and stuff. Have you seen on my account the pictures I've taken of the beading and sheeting?
You've been posting quite a bit actually. Let me show the viewers some of the stuff you got up here. You did this Corvette. If it ever decides to load.
Gotta load.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you see what I'm on my screen or no?
No. I can't, but that's
okay.
fine.
All right.
Oh wait, now I can.
Oh, cool.
It just updated, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, are all these pictures cars that you've done? Ooh,
yeah,
wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So
okay, you've done some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I've got some really cool stuff in my camera, but I has my
Oh, okay.
the thing at the top. So
Yes.
Oh wow, your Wi-Fi is pretty slow.
Yeah, it's actually I just got a notification that the stream cut out for a second.
Oh really?
Yeah. I don't know. I think my brother's playing video games or something maybe. Who knows?
All right, yeah.
Yeah. No, that's just some of the most satisfying stuff. Oh, this is a full.
Yeah, that's the whole one. So I get in it with the wheel brushes and spray some more on it.
See,
and then I had my little special brushes that's right here.
Oh yeah. You know what you gotta do? It's people love they love those type of videos where it's before and after, but an extreme before and after when it's super dirty.
Yeah, I did one on the Jeep. There's an extreme before and after on the Jeep.
Okay.
The white Jeep, I think I removed some really bad tar on the bottom.
Yeah.
And yeah, but I've been trying to get extreme ones. It's just they're really tough to do. Usually the extreme ones, the cars are really beaten down and it's hard to get them to be perfect.
Yeah.
So especially a couple days ago, I didn't even post it because it was an auction car.
Mm-hmm.
It was a car that was broken into. There was glass all over underneath the seats and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So and there were these really bad stains in the back seat. The window must have been broken into for a while and left outside. So
the
there was
elements came in.
Yeah, and then everybody's dirt from their clothing just attached to it. So that's what I think. Or they just spilled. It was when I was taking it out with the heated extractor, it was about 2 full tanks of nastiness. Yeah. And some of these cars, they just don't get perfect, especially the ones that are auction cars. The plastics are all scraped up, and I can't fix scraped plastic, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that's even. Can you even fix that?
You can.
Oh, really?
There's a way.
There is a way.
When there's a will, there's a way. Yeah. You can get a stamp. You can copy the texture of the plastic with wax, and then you can make that a hard
from
plastic
a different
piece.
part on the panel.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
you take that texture, you make you make a copy of that texture, and you use hot glue and all that stuff. And
Wow.
then you heat up the panel with a heat gun, and then you stamp it.
Wow. I mean, at that point though, assuming I mean it's a
Is it
plastic
worth
panel,
it?
you might
Just
as well just
replace the panel.
exactly, yeah. um, I wanted to ask though, were you at Brookdale in the spring?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so because I finished in the fall, and graduated. So, what
It was a little crazy.
yeah, what were the classes like? They were obviously all online, right?
Yeah, it switched to online, and then but like I didn't have an auto class online because you know how I take the GM classes, the
Oh,
short
they
seven
didn't
weeks.
offer those?
Well, they did. They were offering them for the spring, and I took it, and I already finished it before they closed down the campus
Oh, wow, okay. But
because
then
it
what
was
about
7 weeks instead of 15.
um? So do you know what they did about like labs and stuff? Because like they couldn't have students there.
I I heard from Eric that there's going to be like maybe an opening, but then he stopped talking about that. So I don't think there's going to be an opening in the summer at all. Like
Yeah. Okay.
they're just going to have to go. I think they might just like take it out of their grades. Like I
That
know that's all their grades, but
yeah. I don't know. I just feel bad for whoever
how
kind
are
of
they going to make
yeah.
I don't know. I
Uh,
mean, that means that basically the midterm and the final are all of your grades.
yeah, and most of the time people pass because of the labs, not necessarily the midterms or finals.
Well, yeah, a lot of people just pass because of the labs. Like you
Yeah.
can bomb the midterm and have 100th on all the labs, and you'll be fine.
hmm I think
And sometimes I did bomb the final just because
yeah.
I didn't study or I was just
I mean
bullshitting around. So
exactly. Yeah, no. Some people like literally like figured out, okay, my grades have been this. I could literally just like not do the final at all, just get a zero on it, and like I'll still
yeah,
pass. But like
yeah.
obviously like that's not like you're there to learn. You're not there to like just do that. But
It really screwed up the whole like dynamic in there because like the professors and the people who like the lab assistants, they don't all communicate with each other properly, and now they're
no,
like forced to communicate through email and stuff like that.
yeah,
Like
um,
especially Eric. Like Eric never was on the computer. Now he's on the computer all the time.
I know. I talked to him probably like three weeks ago or so, and he was saying like he actually had to learn how to use Zoom and stuff, and I was like, Eric on like modern technology. This
Yeah,
is so weird.
yeah. I said something like that to him too.
Yeah, but for those listening, Eric was one of like the lab assistants there, and like he was super cool. But he was like kind of famous for like having a flip phone and like having no technology exposure whatsoever.
Yeah, he doesn't go past the 2000s.
Yeah, until he's forced to like now. But
Yeah,
since he said that he's on Zoom now, I was like, well, I should have you on the podcast because like I could do Zoom. He's like, oh maybe,
maybe.
yeah. 'Cause he
I
just
think I told him that I was doing a podcast with you.
oh
So
did you? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I spoke to him on my birthday, the 25th.
Oh, your birthday was the 25th?
Yeah, I turned 20.
Oh wow, happy birthday.
Thank you. Oh, my sister's coming home from New York.
Okay.
She had to drive up there to drop something off and literally come back. So
I used to have to do that for work. Just like literally drive like an hour away and an hour back just to like drop one thing off.
yeah,
Glad I don't have that job anymore.
yeah.
Yeah. Um
Well,
we're okay, we're getting to the
yeah, but
time.
her car is all clean too.
I mean, I'm sure you take care of everyone's cars, right?
Yeah, nah, everybody gets a clean wash here at the
Nice.
Gloss Boss HQ.
There you go.
So
But we're getting to the time
that's
now
nice.
where I want to start doing some questions I
But
posted.
what about you? How's this quarantine been for
I
you?
guess you didn't hear that. No, my quarantine's been all right. Like I said, I started this podcast because I've literally been that bored that I was like, let me just like
Yeah,
start something.
that's probably best.
Yep. Um, And then I don't know. I designed some new shirts that actually just came in today. So they're gonna be coming out
That's nice.
soon on my website.
I've been I've been wanting to fly my drone too.
Oh
The
yeah.
Mavic Air.
Oh, you have a Mavic Air
I just
also?
haven't found a good. What?
You also have a Mavic Air?
Yes, I also have a DJI Mavic Air.
Yeah, that
It's
thing
nice.
is awesome.
They came out with the new one though.
I know. I got jealous because I saw how good it
That
was.
looks so much better. But I was looking on the website and apparently they had a trade-in program.
Really?
So you can trade in your old Mavic Air for credit to get a new Mavic Air.
Oh, that's so weird. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Yeah.
That might
Hey.
be the wave.
Sorry, I'm doing a podcast. So yeah.
What I was gonna say before is we're getting into the time where I want to do some questions. I had a couple questions from Instagram. Both of them are detailing related, so they're right up your alley. The first
Oh,
one,
cool.
The first one is wax or ceramic coating, and then which is better for like the money/labor time.
Honestly, like, it's nice to do a ceramic coating because you only have to, like me, I only have to see the car that many less times. Like, I don't have to see the car every month because it doesn't get dirty as often.
Yeah.
And the owner can clean the vehicle with just hose. Like, maybe just spray some cleaner on it and just hose.
So,
Cleaning on these coatings are great. You can drive out in a rainstorm and your car will be clean, you know?
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So it's better for the money. Like, yeah, it's an investment, but guess what? You don't have to wax your vehicle. You don't have to spend that time. Maybe it's more of a value of less time than, and also the protection because you won't get scratches as often. Like, yeah, if you rub your keys on the paint, yeah, it's gonna scratch. But say you say a zipper from your hoodie or something hits the paint, it won't scratch it.
Yeah.
You know, like you can, if you're trying to squeeze between two cars and you say your zipper or something gets caught on your car or goes against it, you know, you won't have to worry about a huge scrape. You know, you won't have to worry about somebody taking their keys and like flinging them at your car by accident, you know?
Yeah. But before ceramic coat, paint protection film was like a big thing, but it seems like ceramic coat's kind of taken over because of how easy it is.
Actually, I'm in the middle of learning to install paint protection film, and like I got coatings for paint protection film. So this is G Technique Halo.
Okay.
Cool. So
I like
yeah, this is basic. Yeah, the bro, I'll show you. This is my coating. You want to see $300 worth of coating?
Uh-oh.
I actually feel nervous holding all these.
Are you serious? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't want to drop them. Wait one sec. Let me just. There we go.
Wow. That's crazy. So that's
$300. That's $300 worth of coating right there.
That's wild.
Yeah. So and guess what? So my 3 to 5 year coating is 2 layers. So 2 layers of 2 different products from the same brand.
Okay.
That's what gives it the 3-year durability. It's Crystal Serum Light and then XOV4 an hour after the Crystal Serum set.
Okay. And then the next question was, how do you maintain a clean, polished wheel after a wash?
A clean, polished wheel after a wash. Well, you can either, if you have like in your arsenal, say you have like some wax, I would wax the wheel, or you can put a sealant on it, which I was just talking about the wet coat. The wet coat's great. I have it in this little bottle over here.
Dude, you got everything. Look at you.
So yeah, the wet coat, it's not in a labeled bottle, but it's just this orange stuff.
Okay.
Spray it on the wet car and you rinse it down. Same thing with the wheels. You can get in all those crevices because guess what? You don't have to wipe everywhere. You can just spray and rinse off the wheel.
Yeah.
So guess what? You can get your wheelbarrows, you can get your brake calipers, you can get all that stuff with 2 seconds of spraying.
Yeah, wow.
So that's why I love wet coat, because it can get in all the nooks and crannies without leaving any residue or having to rub a whole bunch. It's just a lot less time. It's more expensive, but for the time it saves me, it's profitable.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially if you're looking at it from like a business standpoint, if it saves you time, it saves you money. So
time is money in this industry.
I mean,
most those are the only questions.
Yeah, those were it. But
okay, cool.
Yeah, I think we should start wrapping up now. We're approaching almost an hour. So
oh wow, yeah.
Is there anything, obviously Gloss Boss details, but is there anything you want to plug specifically?
My Instagram, so it's at gloss_boss_details.
Yes.
That's my Instagram, and I have my cards and stuff, but you can just catch me on my Instagram, DM me. I have my appointments. I follow up with you guys, so it's not like you're constantly messaging me. I'll message you before you think about me most of the time. So
there you go. That's the way to do it.
I'll just quickly go through the rest of the wash process. So basically I rinse down the car from the soap. I dry it with a towel, usually a twisted loop towel. So those are fancier towels. I love towels. And yeah, so if you guys ever want really good detail towels, go on to the ragcompany.com. Literally, they just sell detailing towels. It's great. Really? You'll probably end up spending a lot of money, but you'll have towels for the rest of your life. Yeah, I'm a towel whore. So I dry the car, and I dry the wheels too, because I already coated them once I was done cleaning the wheels.
Okay.
So, they're immediately coated. The car's already coated with that wet coat. I go ahead, I dry it, I spray wax wherever it's kind of, a little ashy from whatever, if it dried or whatever, if I get it soon enough, I'll spray the wax. And then basically I go on to the windows and the door jambs, usually the door jambs first. So I'll take a soaking wet towel, I'll wring it out, I'll spray a little bit of cleaner on it. And that'll either like the Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, ATC, or some super clean diluted 5-to-1.
Yep.
So I'll spray a little cleaner, wring it out, wipe the door jambs. Then after the door jambs are done, I'll go to the glass, make sure all the glass is good. Usually I clay the glass with all my clients, just because you never know what's on there.
Okay.
It's quick. It takes 1 second.
Yeah.
You clay it, you dry it. I clean the inside, the outside. The thing with the inside of the windshield is guys like to go in the car and do the whole windshield from one side. That's just not possible. You got to go on both sides, buddy. And you need a waffle weave towel. I would recommend one.
Waffle weave, yes.
Yeah, and you don't soak the window. You don't need that. You just need a little bit of liquid, and either that's glass cleaner or I use sprayway. The normal glass cleaner you use in your house. I use that.
Okay.
Works perfectly. So yeah, that's just my basic wash. I clean the wheel wells while I clean the wheels too.
Cool.
I dress the tires, but I don't do the edge, because what we detailers call the edge of the tire, we call that the danger zone.
Why is that?
You know why we call it the danger zone? Because if it's a wet day and you got a whole bunch of dressing on the edge of your tread, guess what's going to happen?
It's going to fling up.
It's going to fling up, and you might start slipping and sliding. Slippery tire dressing on the tread of your tires.
That makes sense.
If you think about it.
Interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
So that's why we don't like. Yeah, you don't want to put it on too much on the edge of your tire, just in case. If you want maximum grip, stay away from the edge.
Nice. All right. Well, I think that's our show. So Neal, thank you very much for coming on. We will have to relink as soon as possible. But yeah, have a good one.
All right.